red, white and blue, and as they come up, you can see that top form shape of our Diamond 9. As Reds 8 and 9 move to the left and right respectively to form 9 Arrow, reaching a height of over 5,500 feet. The aircraft start to slow to approximately 120 miles an hour over the top, and now increases to 200, 300, back to 400 miles per hour as Red 1 brings them around to the left. Leading the team this year, a new team leader for 2024. He's been in the team before, everybody knows him, it's squad leader John Bond, known as Bondy. Bondy was in the team 5 years before he took 1 year out. He's been previously 2, 6, 7, and he came back in 2024 as Red 4. He's a former Typhoon pilot and also a former qualified flight instructor on the Tucana. In from the left, in Big Vixen, the smoke comes on. On the immediate right-hand side of Red 1 is Red 2, that is strongly got Chris McCann, known as Greeno. He is called Greeno because he was greened up after training to be a qualified flight instructor on the Tucana, after which he joined with the world's famous 617 Dambuster Squadron with the Tornado GR4. Greeno received the Air Force Cross while on operations for Iraq and Syria. Those of you that saw the news yesterday, unfortunately, Royal Air Force, the Aviation and Display Community, and more importantly, the family lost a very valued member, very valued colleague and dear friend to many of us around the community. It should be for squad leader role. This is Spitfire. Typhoon pilot, he flew with 11 Squadron. He was an instructor on 29 Squadron before joining the Test and Evaluation Squadron. That's 41 Squadron at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. Reds 4 and 5 now slowly either side of the stem start to make their way rearwards. In November of 2023, it was the 30th anniversary of the final flight of one of the most famous and iconic aircraft in aviation history. As the team roll out, there is no mistaking the shape of the wonderful and majestic Concorde. Once again, the team will offer over 400 miles per hour, showing the expertise of the pilots flying Concorde. Obviously, it's going to be more difficult. You now see Reds 8 and 9 split left and right, changing the shape while it follows and doing it into Signet. Once again, the aircraft reaching a height of over 5,500 feet, slowed to 120 miles per hour, which means that the formation keeping by the pilots is a lot more difficult, with the controls being a lot less responsive. And he also flew the F111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. You can see now the wings of the Signet flexing forward, Red 6 and 7 splitting as they come around to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready for the colourful Phoenix. first year on the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot who used to fly with 11 Squadron based at RAF Red in Lincolnshire. And he has taken part in operations on Iraq and Syria, as well as the Eastern Europe Baltic Air Policing mission. All the pilots must have the above average in the air, have approximately 1,500 hours before they can join the team. They go through a rigorous selection process where we whittle them down to approximately 9 individuals, who then come out and spend a week with us in our spring training exercise, and we take that 9 down to the final 3 or 2, and they will join the team in approximately September to join for next year's season. You now see Reds 8 and 9 dropping trail on the rest of the formation as Red 1 continues to bring them round to the left. It's one of the most popular, if not the most popular manoeuvre we fly. We've kept it for 2024. From the left, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tornado! The board call is made by Red 9 as Red 8 and 9 roll around the rest of the formation. Red 8 smoking red and Red 9 smoking blue. Watch for the colour chain as Red 1 brings them down the line. In addition to that, it disturbs the airflow out the back of the aeroplane, and it makes that smoke balloon a lot more fuller and enhances certain manoeuvres shown the display. But of course, the Red Arrows is not just about the pilots. We have 11 pilots, but we have over 140 personnel on the Red Arrows. Over 120 of them are the engineers, the mechanics, the logisticians, the administrators, and they are known as the Blues, named because of the colour of their coveralls. There are a number of Blues today on the RTEC, so make sure you go along and say hello. Inside those Blues there are 11 individuals, and they are lucky enough to fly in the back of our aircraft in between displays where we cannot see the full engineering complement, and they are known as Circus. One individual with the overhead display is Circus 10, saying that is AS1 Lewis. He is responsible for filming the display for debrief and safety purposes. But once again, from the right, in short diamond, the Red Arrows. As we come to the end of the first half, you'll now see a manoeuvre not brought in for nearly 20 years to start the second half. This is the 5-horse split. In the second half, you'll see the more dynamic, high-speed, heart-pumping, jaw-dropping manoeuvres, where we split into 2 distinct sections. Going off to the right, you've got Reds 1 through 5, named as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And off to the left, 6, 7, 8, 9, now known as Hannah, named after squadron leader Ray Hannah. One of the first members of the Red Arrows, the only team leader to lead the team for 4 years. He took the team from a 7 to a 9 and formed our world-famous Diamond 9. Enid from the right, Hannah from the left. This is the 5-4 pass. We took the red from the Red Pelicans, the arrows from the Black Arrows, which gave us our name, and we took the aircraft from the Yellowjacks. And in tribute to that aircraft, in from the right, is Enid in Nat. When we then took over flying the Hawk, which is what the aircraft we are flying today. High manoeuvreable, can go supersonic and goes in heights over 45,000 feet. Look directly to your front, over the trees in the distance, you can see the white smoke come on. 8 and 9 roll. Get your cameras ready. This is Hannah Break. He is the synchro leader. It is Flight Lieutenant Stuart Roberts. Stu is in his third and final year. He was 7 last year. He was Red 2 in his first year. He's a former Typhoon pilot, having flown with 11 and 12 squadrons at RAF Coningsby. Each pair will now dive down to approximately 200 to 300 feet above the airfield. They'll have a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour in the Hannah Pass. Typhoon pilot and qualified weapons instructor who was based at RAF Coningsby. As they turn towards each other in Cyclone. Each aircraft now pulling up to 5G, once again turning towards each other as they complete their first part of their second half in Slingshot. Coming in from the left, accelerating as he descends down, is Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Patrick Kershaw, known as Paddy. He turns hard to the left, lines up with Eagle in the distance forward. Paddy in his third and final year, former Tornado DR4 and Typhoon pilot. Look to the trees directly in the distance. You can see Red 7 and 8 pulling up in trail. Once again, get your cameras ready. The smoke comes on as the synchro departs for the world famous park. This message is for a Chris Abraham. Amy Higgins would like to ask you a very special question. And coming in from the right is Red 8, that's Flight Lieutenant Rich Walker. He's a former Harrier pilot, former Typhoon pilot, and also former qualified flight instructor on the Hawk TRP. Give Red 6, 7, 8 a massive round of applause for a wonderful half from the start to right of the hall. So keep your eye on Red 6 and 7, 7 off to the left, Red 6 off to the right. Once again, they'll dive down on the close speed of over 800 miles per hour. They will lose sight of each other at the very last second as they go belly up in the manoeuvre called the opposition barrel roll. As the synchro pair leave the display line, coming in from the left in the distance, you've got Enid, now joined by Reds 8 and 9. Once again, pulling up at over 400 miles per hour. Red 1 rolls the formation to the right. Get your cameras ready for the Vixen vertical break. 360 degree on roll. Pull, go is the call from Red 6. Each aircraft now pull hard up. Pulling 5 to 6G, that means anything about them is weighing 5 to 6 times heavier than what you and I are as we stand on the airfield. Now reach a height of over 2.5 to 3,000 feet. They're inverted 60 degrees, nose down, roll the correct way up to finish the maneuver called boomerang. Once again with the red, white and blue. They perform a barrel roll in the sky, leaving a colourful snake-like smoke trail in the sky, trailing our famous red, white and blue. Those colours, that smoke is capable due to the smoke pattern on the bottom of the aeroplane. That holds approximately 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of blue smoke and 1 minute of red smoke, and is selectable on buttons of the pilot's control column. The aircraft now start to level out and flatten out as 2, 3, 4 and 5 make their way forward and form up into tango. Very hard formation for those pilots to fly. They're now looking directly 90 degrees along their shoulder line at red 1 as the smoke comes on to complete the serpent. Disappear to the left hand side, look far to the left hand side, just over the top of the trees. You've got Hannah running back in. Red 6 rolls inverted. And he starts to push, and that means Red 6 is now doing an inverted barrel roll. Therefore pushing quite a lot of negative G, which means all the blood is rushing to his head. While Red 6, 7, 8 and 9 roll on, hold on in the middle roll. Extremely hard manoeuvre for Red 6 to fly, as I said, inverted for no more than 30 seconds, pushing against that negative G. And the manoeuvre is finished by Red 7 and 8, so 8 and 9 rolling back, producing the red and blue smoke. As Hannah moves off to the left, coming in from, moving to the right, coming in from the left, you've got Enid. White smoke is on. 2, 3, roll goes, 2, 3, roll to the outside. Clear, go as Reds 4 and 5 roll to the outside. And one of the hardest manoeuvres for our new pilots each year to master. This is roll-outs. Runs right the way from the very top, officer commanding, all the way down to the very bottom of the squadron. Look directly to your front, you've got Hannah running back in. As I said, 2024, we celebrate our diamond display season. It's our 60th anniversary of displays across the world. And Reds 8 and 9 pull up and draw a wonderful tribute to our diamond season. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the anniversary break! Once again, keep your eyes on Red 6 and so each aircraft pulling up to approximately 1,500 feet on the verge. They'll turn back towards the display line for their final manoeuvre of the show. Once again, for their final pass. Just over 200 feet above the airfield, a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. This is the synchro pair in double rolls. Synchro pair, leave display and look directly to your front. You can see the white smoke coming on off Ealing, joined by 8 and 9. Get your cameras ready for the Vixen break. But Midlands Air Festival has been an honour and a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the